Hi everyone, my name is João Leite and welcome back to another Data in the Wild episode hosted by Data Meaning. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel below and click the bell to turn on notifications to be the first to know every time we upload a new video. Today I'll be showing you how to create a very simple report in Power BI. Here we have an example of some informations where we have a chart which shows size by group, we have a table with names and phones, and also some cards here with numbers. We also have a second page here where we have slicers to filter our data and a map to see what's going on. Now, how can we get this kind of information inside our report? Let's open a new file here in blank and load our data. How to load your data at first? If you have an Excel file, you can just click here. In our case, we have a CSV file, so we can click here or up here. Then, in the new window, we'll choose Text and CSV. Click on Connect, and before loading the data, we have to select it here. We'll transform some columns because they are not in the format we want. So click here in Transform Data. A new pane will open, and inside it we can select the columns we want. So here I'll change the latitude and longitude, right click, change type, and select text. Then I'll just replace the current type and it will be the way I want. Inside this window we can also connect more databases, we can manually enter data, and we also transform, add columns, and even use some Power BI tools to calculate and create custom measures. For now, we already have what we want, so let's click on Close and Apply. We have to wait a bit for it to load, and you can see here under Fields that we'll be having our data. Okay, now that we have our data here, let's create our charts. I'll get here the clustered column chart. Let's just click on it, make it bigger, and now I'll populate it with the data I want. So let's put group into axes, sizes into values, and now we have here the data, but all of the data has the same color. So let's select the group and add it to legend. So now we can see the groups and also the data you want. If you want to change the type of chart, you can click here and also change it from here. Some things will change, so you will have to manually configure it again. So you could see I clicked on the start stacked column and then just put the group back into legend. Now let's create a table. Click here in a blank place, click on table, and then I'll add the name and the phone. I'll make it smaller so we have more space. Here, and okay. You could see that I accidentally clicked on something here. This will filter my data. I can click on a blank place here to erase it. Now we can create the cards. We have two ways of creating visualizations in our report. We can get them from here, or we can double click here to get the questions and answers from Power BI. Inside here, we'll see some suggestions on what we can create using our database. Here I'll create the average size. If I click here, Power BI will suggest me the best way to show the average size, which is using a card. I can click on here to confirm that I want this visualization, and then just change its size. Now, if I want the total value of sizes, I can click on here, and you can see that the total value is not here, but I can see more suggestions. Oh, it's still not here. What can I do? I can just come here and write total size. It will show me an example of a card like the one above, and I can just confirm it. Let me put here, and then we have our first page. I can come here under page and rename it to size information. Now let's create the location page. We can click here on the plus sign to add a new page. Then we'll create some slicers. Slicers are a way to filter your data, and it's easier to use because you can see what you're selecting. Here we'll use the group, so add a field here to group, but the group here is in a range format. If I want to change it, I can click on this drop down here and change it to drop down or list. In this case, let's leave it as a list. I'll add another slicer, and then in this one I'll be using the names field. Let me just change the sizes here to be more pretty. Okay. Now you add an Azure map. If you don't have this enabled, please check our video on enabling and using Azure Maps. Here I'll make it bigger. I'll add the coordinates. So here it's loading. And now I can see my data here. I'll add the group to the legend, so the colors change, and also the size to see different sizes for each place. Now if I click here, I can see that my data will be filtered. So that's the best way to filter your data and find what you want. If I just come here and unclick, it will come back to the original place. If I want to select multiple places, you can see here that I can't use it. I have to hold Ctrl on my keyboard and then I can go and select them. If I click here on one of the places, I can see its information, but as you can see, I don't have the name of the place. So I can come here, grab the name, add it on the tooltips, and after I can come back here, click on the ball, and I'll see the name of the place. So this one is Barnes, this one is Mud Hut, and down here we have Fins and Feathers. I'll change the name under here to location information, and now let's add some arrows to go back and forth our pages. Here under insert we can add some visualizations and also text, buttons, shapes and images to our report. I'll add a button here, a left arrow, I'll place it down here. In the configurations menu I can change its action. So I'll open the action here, I'll press in the page navigation. I can use back, but I'll use the page navigation and use size information. Now I'll come here in the size information, I'll insert a right arrow, place it down here, activate the action, and you can see that I don't have a forward action, I only have a back action, so that's why I use page navigation. It's easier to configure and know where you're going when pressing the buttons. And then here you have your report done. I'll come here and erase the filter just so I can see all of my information again, and then you can just come here to save, in the save here or file, save. Select the place you want to save, name it and press OK. That's it for creating our first report in Power BI. Thank you for watching and have a great day. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to know when future videos are posted. Thank you for watching.